interactive. So we are all ready to interact with our guest and panel discussion leader. Then share a thumbs up or smiley emoji in chat box. Thank you. Before the introduction of the guest, let me also introduce Ms. Uma, Human Resource Leader, will interact with our guest along with the panel discussion leader, Ms. Rashmi. I shall welcome you all. Session is over to you, Ms. Uma.
Thank you, Ishwarya, for this wonderful, curtain raiser session.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, I take immense pleasure in welcoming our guest of honor today, being the New Year. I wish you everyone a very happy New Year 2025. Let this year be a wonderful year for everyone in career life and in personal as well as professional life. With this, we start our session today, and this session is so important that seeking purpose. That is something very important for anyone, and that's a very good start up for the year because this year, seeking with a purpose, if we start the year is definitely going to be blooming. And let's welcome our chief guest today, Gautam sir. Welcome you, Gautam sir. And I also welcome Rashmi. She has been part and parcel of our Leaders Connect for quite some time now, and she has been an inspiration for many of the authors, and she herself as an author, and she has been an inspiration for many people to write books. Welcome you both for this particular episode, and over to you, Rashmi, for the wonderful and inspiring interaction.
Hey, Huma, thank you so much. Welcome, everybody. Happy New Year. Hi, Mr. Duggal. How are you?
Very good, Rashmi. Thanks, Uma. I hope you guys are doing well.
Yes,
Yeah,
all are doing great. And it's the first day of the year. The excitement is there, and we want to consistently remain this excited for the whole year.
Amazing.
So,
Okay.
good evening, Rashmi ma'am. So I just want to add, I believe we need to welcome our guest officially also. So I'm just going to play a video to welcome our guest, Mr. Gautam, as well as you. So just give me a second and I will have this video. Thank you. So we welcome you. Over to you, Rashmi madam. Because
Thank you, Pankaj. Happy New Year, Pankaj.
Have our welcome video for the guest and the panel discussion leader.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure and an honor to have you, sir, on our show. And I feel it's a very relevant topic for today and for always. Having purpose in life,
Agreed.
in professional and personal life, gives meaning to your life, and life becomes worth living. That's what I believe.
Oh, absolutely. I'm glad. Actually, it's a very apt time to talk about purpose in life because people do reflect on what they want to do. especially at this time of the year. And you keep getting these text messages about what I'm going to achieve in the next year. So I think timing wise, it's absolutely perfect. But it's great to be here. Um, and yeah, I'm ready. Let's get the show rolling.
Okay, let's start. My first question to you is, what does purpose mean to you in personal and professional context?
Well, I don't see them as two separate contexts in life, right? I see my personal um, purpose very much aligned to my professional purpose of why I'm here and working. And to me, purpose is not really a destination. It's the journey, right? Through that purpose, I achieve various goals, whether personal or professional. I could be I could be doing many things during the day, but what's that one thing that keeps me, motivated to do multiple things with the same amount of energy? That's what my purpose is. And I keep telling this to people that there is no personal and professional life segregation. It's all interlinked, right? So you should stop looking at it as buckets. And the purpose is actually that thread, which will put everything together. Um, my purpose in life has changed, but it hasn't transformed a lot. It has changed from where I wanted to be when I started my career or when I was young to where I'm heading to and what's the impact that I'm creating. I think it'll keep changing over a period of time, and then once I get more wisdom in life, I might probably get to that evolution stage as well.
Okay, that's interesting. It's so true because we as humans are always on the move. We are always transforming. So I feel, yes, our purpose is also transforming. And yes, professional and personal life is not separate, at least not in today's world where we are interlinked through that network that keeps us connected.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So my second question is, how can individuals identify their true purpose in life amidst so much of social pressure? And does social pressure really matter when we are so purpose driven? I'm purpose driven. So why does the social context really matter? That is something that I also wanted to ask you.
It's a good question, but very deep and insightful as well, because in order to find your purpose, you have to actually look inside of you and find what's your core value in life, right? It doesn't have to align with everybody around you, but what's that core value that you want to, drive in your life? It could be as simple as just keeping your family happy. Or for some people who are sort of like me, is to make more money and die with a lot of wealth. What's that core value that you drive, right? Once you have that clarity, your purpose becomes very clear, right? It may not align with your friends on Instagram or at work, or your friends from school and work. That's absolutely fine. Everybody will have their own core value. They may realize it, they may not realize it, but that purpose comes from the core value. I think the purpose also comes from the fact of what stage of life am I at today, right? And how do I want to shape this, the coming year or the coming few years differently to what it was in 2024 or 23? I think that helps clarify that purpose bit. But it's also the factor of adapting in a very fast moving uh, life where people around you would judge you a lot, right? And that judgment basically comes from maybe your achievements, maybe you know um, the stuff that you carry around, the kind of title that you hold, the kind of conversations that you hold with people. I think that's where, if you are not very sure of what your core value is and your purpose is not very close to your heart, you might just piggyback on what everybody else is doing. So I think for me, it was very clear when I had to do that deep dive as to what is the value that I bring by being here on this planet, and what can I do to achieve my goals by knowing that value. My purpose became very clear. right? And sort of enjoyed doing all of that, and I still enjoy doing all of this. Um, if you're not enjoying your purpose, then you probably have not thought about it very clearly,
Absolutely.
right? Then it's somebody else's purpose and you're trying to achieve it. Could be your parents' purpose to become an engineer
Yeah.
and you're trying to achieve it, right? But if you're not finding it funny and you're not enjoying it and you're not having a gala time with it, you're not going to innovate. You're not going to think about the next big thing. You're not going to help out people because you're trying to struggle and, grasp your hands around it. So your purpose is very, very personal to you. And it should be that way. It shouldn't be known to the world, but you should have clarity, like complete clarity on it. And that will then show up at your work, the kind of conversations you hold with people, even the kind of advice that you give to people. I think comes to a lot of those factors.
Here I would want to really add something like
Sure.
when you're very passionate and you know what you want, people actually support you. Then there wouldn't be that social pressure when you enjoy, when you like you. I'm enjoying being here. I mean, so it's been so many sessions. I'm absolutely enjoying being here. So people really support you. Why would they judge you or don't know? I mean, that's what I feel.
Yeah, I think they may not be judging you, but from the factor of an individual, right? When somebody would question as to why this,
Why
you
this? Yeah.
somehow get into that back foot mode of saying, okay, let me become the Rahul Dravid of my life and just, not play anything. Um, I think it's that factor as well is you got to open up. And you got to take some criticism as well. Is yes, I enjoy doing, I enjoy talking to people. That's what my superpower is, and I can't help it. And I think because of the festive season that has gone by, a lot of people kept telling me, "You can talk for hours, right?" And I kept telling them, "I get paid for it. You know, that's my superpower, and I'm making money out of it. So what's wrong with it?" Um,
Wow.
so it's just that factor of if if it's clear to you, you will find out multiple ways to actually make it clear to others as well.
Great. This question was really answered well. Great.
Thank you.
Yeah. What role do challenges and failures? Very important. Challenges, failures, nobody wants to share. I don't like to share my failures. Challenges, yes, we show off. I have this challenge, I have this challenge. But failures, nobody wants to show off their failures. So, what role do challenges and failures play in shaping one's purpose?
Think they pressure test you a lot. They pressure test your choice of purpose. And if you're not getting challenged, then you've probably chosen a purpose that's too meager, right? It's not gonna add a lot of value to your life 10 years down the line. I think sharing failures or talking about failures is again very, very personal choice of people. There's no, I don't have a silver bullet to say, oh, go out and share and take feedback from people. I tell people, don't take feedback from people who don't know what you're doing. Okay? Because as humans, we tend to sort of tell the world of what they need to do. I'm very sure people on this call will have a point of view about whether Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli should play the next test match or not. We've not even faced a single ball that gets bowled to us at 130 kilometers an hour. But we still have a point of view, right? So I'm not saying don't take feedback, but don't take feedback from the people who don't know what you're trying to do. Um, there's another important factor is for individuals to realize what is a challenge and what is a failure. I think the moment we get challenged, we sort of feel like, oh, I failed at the task. Um, that's where I think the sounding board or your mentor or somebody at home that you could talk to, they come into play and they can actually help you sort this out. And I've been faced with challenges throughout my life. I don't think um, I've ever worked at an organization where I was not challenged, both in terms of the kind of work that I do, the quality of work that I do, the output and stuff like that. You're always challenged. You will always be challenged, right? But is that a failure? Maybe on certain days you would, fall down, but that's okay. You got to pick yourself up and remember You like talking. Remember, you make people happy. So that's what you want to do. We'll come back the next day and start again. But with that failure, you would have learned a few lessons. So keep them in mind. Um, but the moment you get challenged, don't think you're on the wrong track. You can be eventually on the right track as well. I started off as a systems engineer 20 years ago. Pathetic at it. I'm today in HR, 20 years down the line. Does that mean that I'm a failure of a systems engineer? Not really. I wasn't so good at it. It's not that I burnt down the building, but I don't take it as a failure. Yeah, I was challenged, and I'm still challenged by a lot of technological advances. But my pure calling is here in people function. So this is where I will be. And people don't have to wear their failures as a badge of honor. We're not an army. It's okay to not tell people. It's okay to just, shut down for a day or two, internalize it, but then come back. Don't go down that deep hole of, oh, I'm not so good at this. I'm not so good for the world. Please don't do that to yourself. There are enough people out there to tell you about this. Don't tell this to yourself.
So true, so true. So being self-critical isn't that good actually? I mean, some people get heckled because they are very. I was one of them. I used to be very self-critical about myself. So yeah,
Why?
and that heckled me for a long time till I accepted myself the way I was.
It's okay to be self-critical, but not every day and every
Yeah.
moment, right? This is who you are, and we love you for being who you are. You don't have to be perfect every time. If you're perfect every time, then there'll be a challenge to live with you or to even work with you. So we want human beings around us. I don't want robots around me. So it's okay. Be self-critical on days, but then let loose on others as well.
Thank you so much. The discussions till far has been very insightful, and I'm
Thank
thoroughly
you.
enjoying it. And I hope the audience is also enjoying it. My fourth question is, how can organizations support employees in aligning their work with their personal purpose? There should be an alignment. So how can organizations really support people, and they can leverage from it also eventually?
See, organizations have also evolved over many, many years. And I think that real evolution has taken place just before the start of COVID, I'd say 2018, 19, to now there has been a rapid evolution. Um, and I can talk about one of the instances in my current organization where we realized that there are a lot of people who are doing a certain job, right? But they would be interested in doing another job, which is in a completely different field of work. This could be somebody in HR wanting to move to internal communications, or somebody in, let's say, consulting wanting to move to sales, right? Typically, we would not, unless you have one of those great leaders who are willing to take that sort of step and get people from other domains into their domain and sort of mentor them, coach them, make them these great salespeople. Um, Generally in life we don't see that happen, right? If you're in one swim lane, then you pretty much remain in that swim lane for a long period of time, and you don't really get to move around that much. I think this was realized sometime back, 2021. And that's why we started working on an internal platform. And you could read about this, it's on the internet. It's called a talent marketplace. And our talent marketplace basically gives you like an internal view of, it's like our internal LinkedIn view of people who are there as our talent, and opportunities, which are short term assignments that you could do with other teams. That helps you realize whether you're cut out for it or not. And is that your real calling, right? Is that the purpose that you want to achieve? And also helps the organization realize that Gautam's very bad at sales. Let's not put him there, right? While he's done this short term project, he's not cut out for it. Let's give him more training. Let's give him more mentoring.
Okay.
Let's get him some more support, because in this current avatar, he can't really do that job. So we've started doing that. But I think long before, the individual has to identify of what do they want to do with their life. A lot of people are very content doing what they're doing today. Not everybody is on that rapid pace of growth. Not everybody wants to reach the top position. Not everybody wants to do rotation assignments across the world. There are handful, but let's not paint everybody with the same brush, right? There are few people who are very happy doing what they're doing for the last 10 years. They want to continue doing it till they get retired from the company because they love the job, they love the company, they love the work-life balance that they're getting out of it. Absolutely fine by us, right? So individuals have to realize what that purpose is for them and how it aligns to their career trajectory. And then use such platforms because an organization cannot really, think it for you and give it to you. Because if that happens, then there will be a lot of, I think, unhappiness within the organization as well. Because somebody else is making that very personal decision for me based on some data point, right? That's not the purpose. The purpose of the organization is to give us the right platform, which I think the organizations are doing now. But that internalization, that realization has to come from the individual, and has to be a very strong inclination to take up that job because you can't really simply go back and say, oh, you know what? I moved into the role, but sorry, I don't want it. There's a lot of cost involved to that, and it's an impact to everybody. So I think I would leave it at that. That organizations will only provide the platform. The steps have to be taken by individuals.
Okay, so what do you mean to say the individual should be aware, self-aware that what their purpose in life is, and then they can get aligned with the organization can then help them. That's
Exactly.
what you mean to say?
Exactly. Organizations should not be making choices for us,
Okay.
because their choices would be very driven by
Oh,
certain
great.
other set of priorities.
So true, so true, so true. Yes. Thank you for this lovely answer. It's a very different answer that I've heard from what other people have said. No, truly. I mean, people always believe that the organization should help and the organization should take the lead in knowing the purpose of the individual. But
No,
yeah,
no. It's like you're telling me what's my favorite color,
Hmm.
looking at what I wear to work.
yeah, you
What if
can't
that's the
dictate
only
me.
shirt that I have?
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
So true. So the last question, and I don't want to let you go. I wanted to ask 2, 3 questions
Sure.
which will come from the audience, I think.
All right.
The last question is, what strategies can help in maintaining clarity of purpose in a constantly changing dynamic world?
I don't know how many of you have this individual in your life, but you gotta have a mentor. Because and this mentor doesn't have to be a boss or somebody that you worked for in the past. This could be, for some people, it's their spouses. I know a few people, they have their spouses, especially wives, as mentors,
Yeah.
right? They're very good at mentoring. They can tell you exactly where you need to go. You could also have like cousins. You could also have friends. Somebody that would know what's going on in your mind, which you're unable to say out loud, right? And you can build that relationship can be built over a period of time. I think to know the purpose very clearly and have that soundboard available, you gotta have a mentor. So if you don't have one, sign up for one. Reach out to people, ask for mentorship. But then you'll have to invest into that mentorship. You can't really just go with your problem and say, okay, I don't have a purpose in life. Please define it for me. Here is my resume. Here's my LinkedIn. This is what I've done. This is what my family dynamics are. That's not how it'll work. So you got to build that relationship. So you'll have to invest. You'll have to share some things that you've not even shared it with yourself at times. That's when that clarity will come into play. Once the clarity comes into play, then it's easy. Then they can actually tell you, is this what you really, really want? Or are you taking the shortcut out? So I think the mentorship helps. The other thing that also helps is recalibrating every 6 months. Am I on the right track? Is this what I really wanted to do? Has my North Star sort of shifted, right? Is this thing really giving me the kind of satisfaction that I wanted out of work, relationship, friendship, assignments, whatever. That has to be done. I know a few people who talk to themselves, excellent at mentoring themselves.
Yes.
It's a very scary thing because
It's a very scary thing.
They'll
It
be sitting next to
happens
you on a
me
flight and
a
talking to
whole lot
themselves,
of times.
right? So it's very scary because you don't know if they're talking to you or not. So there are few people like that, but then there are a lot of us which are normal, and then we want to talk to other people, get their perspective. I think that helps shape and keep us very informed in a very fast changing world, because what we see today is not going to be the reality tomorrow. So we need to recalibrate every, I would say 6 months now. I would have said like 2 years, a year ago, and maybe 2 to 3 months by 2026, because the world is changing so rapidly. But your purpose will not really shift that much. If you really love what you're doing today, you'll keep loving it. It's just that you will probably do it differently.
So, a very great advice or cue or guidance, sir, is saying that you should have a mentor. Absolutely. My life did change a lot after I got a life coach. It makes a huge, huge difference when you get
Yep,
a life coach.
absolutely. Can't agree more. I got married, so it got changed by accident.
Great. It was so very great talking to you, sir. And we
Pleasure.
would want you
My
to
name is
come back.
Gautam. It's not sir.
Sorry?
My name is Gautam. I'm not sir.
Oh, yeah.
Sir is my
Okay.
father.
I'll call you Gautam.
Thank you.
Mr. Gautam Duggal. Okay. Thank you so much for being on our show. And it was such
Pleasure.
an insightful discussion. And we would want you back talking about something else, maybe about HR, about people management. It would be a pleasure
Absolutely.
to have you on our show again, sir.
Pleasure. Pleasure. Thank you so much.
I think so. It's over to Pankaj, Uma.
So I believe it's the time for Mr. Nillai to come in to check what people have learned in last 35 minutes. So here I would like to invite Mr. Nillai for a quick quiz. Uma, you can take care from here.
Good evening, Honorable. Thanks to the BJ training for this opportunity. And dear Mr. Gautam sir, and Happy New Year. And thank you for your wonderful insights about the seeking purpose. And I understand your key points like recalibrate ourselves on every 6 months, and as well as challenges and failures are building blocks for the growth. And as well, you mentioned that career growth requires a proactive ownership. Thank you, sir. And let's see who is the lucky winner of this week quiz. And so, fastest finger first. Let's see who writes the correct answer in the chat box. The question will be posted in the chat box with the choices. Just a minute. The question is which of the following reflects the purpose driven mindset? So, we are given 4 choices. Congratulations, Mr. Sukumaran Ajit. And the correct answer is A.
Mr. Sukumar Ajish gets this book written by Ms. Nirja Malik. The book name is I Inspire, as a quiz winner. And Sukumar Ajish has been a quiz winner almost every week. So Sukumar Ajish sir, you also get an opportunity to unmute yourself and ask a quick question to our guest.
Yeah. Sir, thank you for this session, sir. Gautam, sir, and everyone. Sir, to know our purpose, do we need to write it every day, like in the morning, to get more clarity on the purpose? How now how clearly can we write our purpose, sir?
Good thought. If you want to write it, but not every day. Why would you want to write it every day? I think write it on days where, maybe write it somewhere, and then reflect it on days where things have not gone as per plan, and maybe that's the time you want to add a few words to it, remove a few things from it, but you don't have to really write it every day. It's not a morning ritual. It's a part of you, right? And you know it internally, you know it. Maybe you don't know how to express it to people. Maybe to get that clarity, you want to write it somewhere. You don't have to be reminded of it. It's living within you. But I think if things are not going my way for, let's say, 3 months, I have gone back to my purpose to say, if that's my purpose, am I taking all the right actions to live to my purpose? And if I'm not taking the right actions, where have I missed? And have I missed so much that I can't really rebuild it back? But I can always reset. So I'll give you an example. Like I said, I love talking to people. That's one of my passion. And I somehow, as life would happen, I got into a job where my interaction with people had really gone down. You know, probably just sending emails, approving things, and stuff like that. I would actually crave for people to come on a video call so that I can at least talk to them, right? And but they don't want to talk. They don't have time for me. So what do I do now? I had to actually go back and speak to my mentor. I'm like, what's going on? I'm not enjoying what I'm doing. While I'm making good money, but I'm not enjoying what I'm doing. What am I supposed to do now? And we recalibrated my purpose of that. If you want to do that part of your world and still live happily, you got to make some changes. And this could be changing your job as well. So I recalibrated, I switched jobs, and then I got into a role where I was more happy because I'm getting to do what I do best. Another purpose of my life is I'm extremely good with kids, but that doesn't mean I'm opening a school, right? Um, Yes, I am the caretaker in all family parties. That's the given, but that's not that I can't really live like that. So I'm not going to write it every day. It lives within me, but I do go back and recalibrate. Is if that's my purpose? Why am I not being happy today? What am I missing out on? And maybe change the way I'm doing things. I'm not going to change my purpose. That's that's my legacy that I will leave behind.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Everyone.
Is there any other questions to our chief guest today? You can raise your hands or type in the chat box.
Giri.
Yes, Mr. Giri, you can unmute yourself and you can ask the question to our chief guest.
Thank you, Uma, and thank you, this great speaker today. You opened more insights today.
Thank you.
And how can I find my purpose during as I am doing my business? I have to find my purpose in my business, or how can I find my purpose? That is the challenge for me.
I think very first thing you got to do is find out what are you passionate about. I'm very sure you're doing well at work, right, with your business. So your purpose doesn't have to be something that will generate a living for you. It could also be that while you're doing your business, you're also, let's say, I'm just taking an example, you're also sort of trying to build a community around where you live or around your business or the community for the people that work for you, right? So very first thing is, what are you passionate about? And you don't have to answer it to me. I think this is one of the questions. The other thing that you then look at is, if you're passionate about something, right, is it under your control to bring about any change to it? For example, I'm very passionate about clean air and I'm in Delhi.
Yeah.
Is, I don't have control over clean air in Delhi, right? But I can do few steps that in my life that could try and contain it. So you'll also have to look at what are you passionate about? Is it under your sphere of control or not? Does that come naturally to you? Or is it something that you're trying to, you know, a lot of times you get influenced because some people are doing it. Let me do it as well. Because people in my line of business do this. Let me also do this. That may be your requirement, but is that really your passion, right? That passion will then define the purpose of, hey, the Ratan Tata was around. He would run so many businesses, but he was known as one of the greatest philanthropists of our times. That was his passion, is to build this community, to give back to the community a lot. um, with that purpose, then all his decisions, every interaction he would have with the media or with his own folks, that would reflect in the kind of discussions he would have. So that passion sort of defines into what is that purpose for you, and then that purpose will go through multiple iterations of clarity before you actually get down to knowing exactly two or three lines of what are you very passionate and purpose driven about. And like I said, it's a journey. It's not a destination. So the moment I've written it on a piece of paper, don't consider it done. You've just sort of clearly identified it. But as you will go along and achieve great success in your life, your purpose will also keep redefining and getting more clear by each passing year.
Yeah, actually, I got very clear answer from you because I started from water business. Now I am moving to renewable energy and the five elements as a habit. So it's not a destination; it's a journey. Thank
It
you,
is. It
Gautam.
is.
Yeah,
No, thank you. And I think great work. If you're in renewable energy, it's great work. Thank you so much.
yeah, yeah. Everything starts from home. Like that, I have started this rainwater harvesting and renewable energy, solar panels, and then
Wow.
bioseptic tank, and then roof garden and green building concept. These five elements. The sixth element with the intuition.
Ah,
Thank you.
thank you.
That's a
Thank
good
you so much.
question. That's a good question from Giri sir. Gautam sir, I have one final question from my end. No, the important takeaway for me today is that we have to define what is a challenge and what is a failure. That's something really thought provoking, and it's a great insight for me because many times we get stuck and we don't know whether we have to give up or we have to fight the challenge and find out some way to come out of it. My question today is like when you are traveling with your friends, like I have heard people like if you are going to the top you have to be alone, but I'm feeling it right now at this stage of my career, like in the mid-size, when you are progressing and your friends couldn't make it, they get jealous about you and they backbite. Sometimes something happens that you have to travel, you chose to travel to be happy alone, like that's how it is, because I can feel the truth in say that when you are at the top you have to manage to be alone.
Yep.
So but I'm a person who want to take people along with me. Is my thought the right one? Because
Yep.
I'm in some kind of thought process like this right now, because when I progress in multiple directions, people doesn't like it.
Yes.
They want to pull me down and make sure everyone sails in the same boat. This happens very often. So hope you can also relate with some of your past
Yeah.
experiences.
Every day. Every day. Yeah. So
So
what's the question?
yeah, this was the question. Like I want people to take along with me, whether it's possible or just a thought, and I have to leave it and move
Why not?
ahead.
Why not? Take them along. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with taking people along, but don't expect um, that they will all also grow at the same pace that you're growing at. Okay? People will have their own journey. For example, a very dear friend of mine, I just spoke to him today, extremely dear friend of mine. We both started pretty much at the same job. So my first job was mopping floors at McDonald's. Okay? That is what I was doing when I was in second year of college. We both started doing that. We make hourly wages, right? And this was probably the second McDonald's in Delhi. So it was sort of the happening job. Oh, you work at McDonald's? Wow. But we were literally mopping floors and cleaning your tables when you would eat. What is he doing today? That's his journey. Is he at the same level? Not, apparently not, right? But does that mean that I'm not there to support him when it's required? No, I'm there to support him. But his journey will be very different to mine because his purpose is different, right? I can only take the horse to the well. I can't drink the water for him, right? So you want to take them along? Absolutely take them along. But you're right. Eventually, you will have to make that journey alone as well, because that's your journey. Nobody else shares that journey, not even your family members. So yes, there will be backbiting. Yes, there will be people will not like it. They will try and pull you down. And if they're not doing it, that means you're not making it big. Okay, so that's a sign that you're making it big. So feel very proud of it. That people are doing it to you. So that means you're important and special. And then eventually, only so much so that you can do. You can't really do everything. So Giri sir can only offer his services and products to the world. If the world doesn't use it, then it's the world's problem, right? He can only be in that business and take all the actions under his control. If I don't want to have a solar panel on my rooftop, he can't really force it on me, can he? So it's like that, right? Yes, it's a good thing to have, but don't be bogged down by people talking behind your back. I think it's a sign of growth. If they're not talking behind your back, I'll be worried. Uma got so happy her video got stuck.
Uma, are you there?
She's left the call.
Oh, okay, fine. So, anyways, we come to a kind of an end. So, before we move forward, I would like to invite our summary leader, Mr. Senthil. So, Senthil sir, are you there? So, I invite you to summarize the session and do the honors of the summarizing the session, please. Oh, I believe Senthil is not there. So, Nelesh sir, would you like to do the honors for summarizing the session? Nelesh sir?
Pankaj, you're putting people on spot now.
No, sir. These are our leaders, sir. They do it. They are our
Okay.
leaders. Actually, they take up this role and they really do justice to it. So that's
Lovely.
it. It's not that I'm just putting it randomly to anyone. It's not like that. So,
Perfect.
Nelly, sir, you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, can you please summarize it, sir, for us?
So, yeah, the seeking purpose is the finding meaning and alignment with our actions and our goals. And we should have the key benefit of the having purpose is should we have a greater motivation and resilience. And this particular for organization purpose, and we should have provide a shared vision and meaningful opportunities. But however, and the organization will provide the opportunities, but respective personnel has to choose for the career trajectory. When the setting a purpose-driven goal, and we should identify what truly matters to us instead of others. And fulfillment comes from the aligning our actions with the values. And we should be adaptable, and we have to revisit our goal periodically. And we should experience frequent burnout or dissatisfaction, and we have to self-realize on our own failures. The purpose should create a intrinsic motivation and drive a meaningful success. And also, we already covered about the core values and principles, and we cannot live someone's purpose. And the last one, and we should adapt ourselves for what staying true and our own core values. And the last one, the mentor offers a guidance, but does not make a decision for us. So we should, based on the guidance, and we have to decide for our own purpose. And we have to recalibrate ourselves every 6 months. By that, we can ensure that are we in the right track or not. So also for a career trajectory, and we should be prepared, and we should be navigate ourselves on this particular challenges. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Nilay sir. Thank you for taking it so instantly, and it was wonderfully done. Thank you so much for doing that. So that's the beauty of our platform, Gautam sir. I just want to share that. That's
Thank
where
you.
people who visit, they are a routine part of it. And you might have seen that, the instant review or the summary by Mr. Nilay, right? So thank you for doing
Thank
that.
you.
And thanks for sharing wonderful insights, sir. Thanks. I would like to invite Ms. Ishwarya for the vote of thanks, and then we would be able to close the session through a thanking video. So, Ms. Ishwarya, over to you for a vote of thanks, please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I feel immense pleasure and privilege in giving vote of thanks. Sir, I extend my heartfelt thanks and gratitude to our hero of our show, Mr. Gautam Duggal. Sir, you have steal the show, entire show, you have steal the entire show. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
sir.
Thank you.
Sir, the thing is, sir, as sir said, first we should find the purpose of living, why I am here in this universe. Once you have find that purpose, for finding that purpose first, but we should find what is our passion is all about, where we are, what we are going to do. So once we have find out our passion, we can easily find out our purpose of living here, and it should be very clear so that we can enjoy each and every process. So once we are enjoying that process, we can easily, we'll be very happy in accepting all the challenges, right? We won't face it as a difficulties. We can see that all the things as in challenges, and we can make it as an opportunity to grow and success, and to be happy in our lives. And nobody is in this universe has failed until they learn some lessons from their failures. Yes, right, sir?
Absolutely.
Yes.
I think nobody
Yes, sir.
can.
Yes. At the outset, we all have n number of opportunities in this universe. The only thing is we have to find out the purpose. Once we have find the purpose, the universe will connect us to the right people at the right time. And I am the live example for that, sir. Exactly. I am the live example. Have done my research by human resource management. And I was struggling in my research. I used to cry a lot of times, and I used to sit and cry at my home. But my purpose of thing is I have to do my research in human resource management. Many people in 2024, many good souls have been connected with me, and I have successfully completed my research. And personally, this topic suits me a lot, and it has connected me a lot. I was very happy. I was enjoying the show here. Like, thank you so much, sir. Thank you for giving this valuable insight, and thank you so much, sir.
Pleasure. No, pleasure. It was a pleasure being there.
And let me quickly share again the purpose of this community. This Leaders Connect 360 is hybrid model leadership community, where every Wednesday from 6:30 to 7:15 p.m. we invite a leader who is a master in their field to provide solutions for our real-time leadership challenges, much like valuable experience we had today from our guest, our hero, Mr. Gautam, and Ms. Rashmi ma'am. Additionally, every last week of the month, we invite an author to share the knowledge and insights from their book. Please follow our social media platforms to get updates about our weekly episodes and quarterly events. Joining our community is very simple. Just click on the social media links shared in the chat box. It gives me immense pleasure. And once again, I thank you. I thank our guest, Mr. Gautam Duggal, and the panel discussion leader, Ms. Rashmi Jaswal, and the moderator, Ms. Uma, for investing their valuable time in sharing their experiences and insights. Guests and everyone here in attendance, kindly accept your gesture of thanks through a special thank you video. We request our members and visitors to stay tuned till the end, as we give an opportunity to introduce ourselves, which will help us to network and to grow better. Thank you, sir.